Jun, Kim Sok-jin, Min Yoon-gi, Jung Ho-sak, Park Ji-min, Kim Tae-young, Jung Jungkook, sending BTS.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Bethany, and this is Standing BTS.
Yes.
Yes, welcome to another wonderful episode where we get to hang out for about an hour and just talk about BTS.
What a wonderful hour it is, too. But disclaimer, this is a comedy fangirl podcast, meaning that we're going to fangirl, laugh, and learn some along the way.
Yep, that's right. This is an explicit podcast, though, so if you aren't cool with that, you can dip out now. We won't blame you.
Totally. But if you're down for some BTS are literal fucking kings.
Or, damn, BTS looks the exact same in person as they do in pictures and videos.
Then you're in the right place.
Yes.
So this week, we are talking about our concert experience because we got back like hours ago.
Literally hours ago. Like, just got off the flight a couple hours ago, went in and recorded this episode.
Yep. You can probably hear it in our voices, like...
Yeah, I lost my voice just a little bit. Not as much as I was hoping to, but just a little bit.
I know. I wish mine was gone. I felt like it was going to be. It definitely... It's a little scratchy, but it's mostly there.
Mm-hmm. Mine was real sexy this morning, and I was like, yes,
Ooh,
this is great.
Was.
And then it didn't stay that way.
Yep, I loved waking up to it.
It was amazing. I was like, oh, guys, my voice.
So, just a little spoiler disclaimer before we really get into it. We are talking about the concert, so if you're waiting to experience some of the songs or know some of like iconic features of dances or choreography until you go see the concert yourself, then go ahead and wait to listen to this because we want you to experience that because that's what we did and it was amazing. But if you don't get to go to a concert or if you've already watched fan cams and you don't care, listen with us because it's going to be a great fucking time.
This is going to be an amazing episode.
Just like this weekend.
This was like such an experience. I mean, way better than I thought it would ever be, and I already thought it was going to be the best time of my life, and it just was even better than that.
Yes, 100%. Like, it was a lot between getting the tickets.
Yeah, I mean, getting the tickets was stressful enough.
Planning to travel to Fort Worth, traveling, getting a hotel, like, spending the weekend there, taking time off work, like... Getting there, standing in line on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh my God. On Saturday, we walked around and we scoped it out and we got to meet one of our listeners, Dakota. It was really fucking awesome.
Yes, that was so amazing. Like, so she was standing in the merch line and she was so kind. She actually got us an army bomb while she was in line. So, like, thank you, Dakota, so much for doing that. But yeah, meeting her was super neat because it was just like, oh my gosh, like we actually have legit listeners. It's so cool.
Yeah. Just like getting to meet someone who like we actually have a connection with over now. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So on Sunday we got there. The official line was allowed to be started on Sunday at 8 a.m. So, people were there at like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, which we were not about to do that. Like, I mean, It made me upset a little bit because I was like, okay, the venue strictly said do not camp out, do not do that. Lines don't start until 8 a.m. And so when we got there Saturday, we're like, okay, we just need to scope this out and get a feel for where the lines are. Because I heard the biggest thing about the whole line situation is no one knows what line is what. Mm-hmm. And so we were thankfully, like, we got there a day early and we were able to see, like, where the GA line was, where the merch line was, where the sound check line was, where just, like, general admission,
areas,
area. Yeah, like, so we were like, okay, we're not going to wait outside at 2 in the morning. We have a hotel. We're not about to do that. We just weren't about it. No. We were like, we're just going to follow the rules, I guess. It just sounded miserable to stand out that long.
It really worked out for us.
Yes.
So all we did on Sunday, we got in line at like 7:30. and we were in line. It took us until about 11:30 to get our wristbands. They started wristbanding at 10, and my number was 1090. So like within our group, we went from 1088 to 1091, and we had great fucking spots.
I mean, amazing. I mean, the people in front of us. Okay, so this is advice for people who are going to the concert. I will say Fort Worth was really small, a crazy small venue. I mean, there was not a bad seat in that whole arena. I mean, it was like the people in the top row, like I feel like I could have a conversation with them down in the GA area. And so it was such a personal concert. But anyways, my advice is just do what you're supposed to do. Like, I mean, we got there an hour early, and the people in front of us, like in the GA section, they had been there since 2 a.m. They're like, we got here at 7. I mean, and we were literally right next to them.
Yeah, it made zero difference. And, you know, if I were them, I would be pretty tired at that point. I would have been in the heat all day. After we got our wristbands, we actually went back to our hotel to charge our phones and go to the restaurant next door for a few hours.
Yeah. Well, we just listened to what they said. I mean, really, we just listened to what the people at the venue were saying. They were like, once you get your wristband, go home. Like, go home, relax, and come back when doors open.
Yeah.
And so we just, for both times we got in line for getting the wristbands and then for waiting to go in, we got there about an hour beforehand. And that seemed to be just fine.
Yeah. And the numbers on the wristbands matter. Nothing else matters. The numbers that they give you is the numbers that they're going to line you up in.
At least this is how Fort Worth did it. Like, I'm not entirely sure if, like, Chicago or Newark or all of them are going to do it that way. So I don't know. But I know that, like, armies also get kind of crazy. I don't know. Like, some of them go around and start writing numbers on people's hands. And that is just complete false information. That means nothing. I'm like pretty sure of that. If anyone is coming up to you and giving you a number on your hand, like with a Sharpie, no, don't believe that shit.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so that was kind of like our morning.
Yeah. I feel like our entrance into the arena was so amazing because we didn't spend so many hours waiting in line. We didn't camp out. We weren't miserable. I mean, it was hot. It was humid. It like rained a couple of times throughout the day. I mean, so it was like, we just did what we were supposed to do, what we were told, and it worked out just fine. Yeah,
it minimalized our
and we weren't cranky going in. Like, we were pumped going in.
Yeah, we had a great fucking time. So just follow the rules. It's going to work out for you in the end, and you're going to be more excited when you walk in.
Yeah.
And by the time we got in there, we had about an hour and a half to wait for the concert. And starting about a half hour before concert time, which was 6 p.m., they started playing each of the intros. They played each of the intros in order. And then they played DNA, and then Fake Love, and then the concert started.
No, I think it was DNA, Mic Drop, and then Fake Love. I know. I just know that they played Mic Drop because the girl in front of me was like, Fake Love is next, and then it was Mic Drop. We were like, what? And then it played Fake Love, and then the concert started.
Okay.
It's not like it matters.
Yeah. Anyways, but the concert started with Idol, which was amazing.
Yeah, so in terms of like the stage, there was the main stage up front, and then there was like the long runway, I guess, and then the second stage. And so we were like, where do we want to be, you know? And on the second stage, they are super interactive with the crowd. So we're like, yes, that's where we want to be. But for Idol, like it was almost impossible for me to see, at least. Like, I was just so close up to the front of the second stage. They were performing on the main stage, so I didn't see it really all that much. Yeah. But when they came out, at least for Fort Worth, Kayla, should we mention this about like the threats that were given at Fort Worth?
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
they clearly responded to it.
Yeah.
So they had a clear bag policy in response to the death threats that Jimin received. I know for sure that like a long time, like months ago, and
Yeah, a while ago.
we kind of mentioned it on the podcast a little bit without getting specific, but Jimin got a death threat for the Sunday night concert, and then apparently
the 16th.
also one for the 15th. So they had a clear bag policy, and nobody could bring in a bag bigger than a certain size, like even if it was clear, and you could have like little clutches, but everything had to be checked. But it was kind of like, there was kind of some like suspense in the air, I feel like, because of this. And I will say that I've learned through active shooter training that there's never been a shooting that we know about in advance.
Yeah.
There's never been a shooting like that. So the fact that we knew about it means that it's not going to happen.
Yeah. The venue was really strict about like the bags and what you could bring in. And so that alone was comforting. And they had like metal detectors and they had dogs. They had tons of law enforcement. So, I mean, I felt pretty secure going in. But then once we got in, my sister was like freaking me out. And she's like, the nearest exit is over here, and we should meet up here if like something happens. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, stop making me freak out.
But I know. So when we were at that point, you guys had kind of pushed a little bit away from me. Like where we were in the GA section was like the front part of the second stage, and so I could see where I was at. I was kind of centered to it, and there was short people in front of me, and I was like, this is great. But I was in like the back of the GA, which was only really like the 5th or 6th row of people. It was not far away at all, because I was so close to the sound and lights area, so there's not like really that much room for GA right there because the floor was so small. But you guys were a little bit to the left, and more people kept packing in behind you, and you just kept slowly like inching forward to the point where you were like a row ahead of me and like 2 people over. So when this whole thing was happening, Anthony just like walked over to me and he goes, okay, so the nearest exit is over there, and if anything happens, we're meeting at the Starbucks. And I was like, oh my God, like
it was scary.
It was scary.
Yeah. So anyways, when Idol started, I really couldn't see. I could see them. Like, I mean, I was freaking out when it started. Okay. I mean, they had like fireworks. Well, I guess not fireworks, but like these like firework-like things go off. And I was like, oh my God. And you could see them coming up from below the stage. I was like, oh my gosh. But then I just couldn't see anything. So I was looking at like, they have 2 really large screens on both sides. And so I was watching them on there, and they zoomed in on like all of their faces. And I just don't know if it was like they were either nervous to start performing, or like I don't know if they were they just looked uneasy, especially Jimin. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope he's like, I mean, that had to have been terrifying. I don't even know what that would be like, knowing that you've had someone, you know, do a death threat for you, like, you know, not for you, but like
a threat on your life, like, and standing up. It's definitely scary. And so I felt like right at the beginning there was some of that kind of like nervousness, and it could be related to that, which is why we brought it up. But it could also just be that they love performing and they still get nervous before every concert because they want to do great for ARMY. And every time that they begin a new concert, it's meeting like a new crowd for the first time. So they have to like get to know us a little bit and build the energy, and, you know, so it could be that too.
I think it was probably that. I want to believe that that's what it was. It was more just, I mean, I feel like we were all excited but nervous to see them. And I feel like it may be the same for them, like coming out on stage and seeing this huge arena full of all of these people in a place they've never performed. So, I mean, I think that was just a lot of anxiety and nerves and excitement all at the same time too. So they just came off a little uneasy, but it did not take long before they all like they just totally warmed up to us, and like we warmed up to them, and like by the end of the concert it was just such good flow. If it was, guys, okay, let's do this. Let's get into this concert.
Dude, okay, so the beginning like intro section consisted of 5 songs. So they came out on stage with Idol, and then they had their like opening talk where they all said hi for the first time and introduced themselves. And then they did like not all of Save Me, but like a section of Save Me that within
like
a
the
few
beginning of
minutes,
Save Me.
went into I'm Fine. And for all of those parts, they were back on the main stage. When did they come up to the second stage for the first time? Was it during I'm Fine?
No, they came up to the second stage really kind of a little bit during Magic Shop, but really during J-Hope came up for Just Dance, and then I Need You and Run, which I think was even before that. Well, maybe not, but I Need You and Run is when they really came up to the front.
So it was a solid, 5-6-ish songs before they consistently were at the second stage. So right at the beginning, we were just mainly trying to peak as far as we could to the main stage because we thought that what we had were great spots. And then so we were also watching the big screens, and I'm Fine. I mean, we've seen that choreography. It's amazing. Seeing it in person.
Lift Taeyong up, and he's sitting too. Oh my gosh.
I love that part. That was the part that I was going to mention. Just seeing it in person, and it's just, it's something different. But then when they finally come down the runway to do Magic Shop.
Yeah, they didn't come all the way to the front, but they were kind of coming down the runway a little bit.
They were teasing us,
with Magic Shop. And so with Magic Shop, that was the first time that I started to tear up. And I mean, I cried a little bit. I wasn't full-blown tears, but I definitely teared up, and it was just so emotional and moving. And Jungkook was like, "This one's for you." It was which Jungkook's English, my God. All of their English really is so good.
Yes. When Jungkook speaks English, he is so fucking cute.
I know. Such a cutie.
Such a cutie. And Namjoon was just he talked to us like he knew us.
Yeah.
And, he was so welcoming. But I loved when they started coming up during Magic Shop and just it was oh my God, yes, they're getting closer. Ooh, we're getting into this.
Yeah. So after Magic Shop, they went back behind stage or under stage, and they played a VCR, and it was J-Hope and Jungkook. It was so cute. They were so cute and playful in this, and they were playing tug of war, and it was just adorable. So we're okay, we're totally gonna get Just Dance and Euphoria.
Yes. So oh my fucking God. So Just Dance was one of those that I was really waiting for, that I was really excited for.
This one is the one that I had not seen a single bit of a clip.
Me neither.
Because I was I do not want to see Just Dance because I know he's got a killer performance for it. But I mean, so does Love, and so does Seesaw and Euphoria and all that. But I was I just don't want to see it. And oh my God, guys, this was the moment. This was the moment that I was
the most iconic.
They are right in front of me, because J-Hope was he was back on the main stage, but then he comes down the runway and he comes to the second stage, and he was right in front of me. I mean, Kayla, I got really close to the stage. I was inching my way up, and oh, he was so big. I mean, he was above me, and he crouched down. He was so interactive with all of us. I mean, such a flirt too, and so much energy. I mean, so much energy.
Yes.
But I think he had kind of green lighting. The lighting around him was so cool too. Anyways, you can say some more about it.
I was gonna mention, for me, the most iconic moment of Just Dance is actually closer to the beginning of the song. Before he even comes down the runway, he's on the main stage, and he's on this white platform. It's a light up white box, and all of a sudden it starts raising up, and this is maybe I don't know, 10 feet long, a platform raising up into the just above the stage.
Yeah.
And it's to the part of the song where, clearly that he's gonna do some sort of dance. He's not singing. It's after he says,
when he's calling out and there's a lot of instrumental and it's very echoey. That part of the song.
After he says he just want to dance. And I was he is about to do something iconic right now. Like, this dance move, whatever he's doing, and it was like the way that the stage framed it and the lighting and just like his lines, just, I was like, this is an iconic like action right now. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, imagine how scary that must be. Like, it's like a long, narrow platform. And, like, I'm sure they have some sort of security, like, so he won't fall. But, I mean, he could literally fall off of it. Mm-hmm. But I think it just was, like, insane. I mean, he was dancing along this narrow platform, and he's suspended in the air. It was just such a sight.
Mm-hmm.
Astonishing.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Euphoria was also amazing, but I think, like, because I was so far away, I didn't really see the choreography as much because I wasn't close to the main stage. So what was shown on the screens was more like close up Jungkook, and sometimes further away, like where you could see full body. So what I really appreciated about Euphoria was Jungkook's just like live vocals.
I know. Amazing. I mean, really, we were both really far back because he was up at the main stage, but his vocals were unbelievably beautiful. I mean, just so in pitch. I don't know. He's just so talented, but the performance itself was also really beautiful, and the choreography was amazing. And he like really, he has like backup dancers with him too. And it's exactly what like Euphoria is, this very beautiful and
expressive song.
Yeah, so Euphoria is just like this really expressive song, and the dance really just shows a lot of that too. It was a really great performance, and I wish we would have been closer for it. Like, we learned later on in the concert that we could move around.
Yeah.
We didn't have to stay right where we were.
Yeah. So after Euphoria, the rest of BTS comes out and they perform I Need You, which turns into Run. And so for these songs, they come out, like all of them officially for the first time to the second stage. And oh, it is so amazing.
They're in like all white outfits, like these stunning white outfits. And I started flipping out because I could see them coming down the runway, like all of them together, just walking like fucking models right at us. And they came right to the second stage, and they were like right in front of us. I mean, so close.
And it was like, holy shit, they're real. I mean,
yes, like I saw their faces, like they're like with my eyes.
In real life, with my own eyes.
I know.
With my own fucking eyes, that close. They look exactly the same as they do in photos, in videos, in interviews, in music videos. They look exactly, you know what? If anything, they're more striking in real life. Like, fucking, this was the first sight that I got of Yoongi close up, and holy shit, like, I do not know what it was.
When I looked at Kayla, I mean, we were separated for a little bit, but we were both like, Yoongi looks so freaking stunning. He's just so beautiful. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. His face is just like, it's so unique, but I don't know if it was his hair color, and it was kind of like tousled, and his eyes were just so stunning. He just was breathtaking.
He was like, I'm serious, I'm gonna cry right now. Like, he was like,
I know.
Like, icon, like godly, he looked like I don't know how else to describe it. Just amazing. Like,
he looks better in person.
Than in anything else.
Amazing in person, but really, Yoongi was just like, "Whoa! I did not expect you to look like this freaking good." I mean, they all are amazing, but like him in person, I just didn't expect that. You know,
No.
like we both were like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
But anyways, so I Need You was amazing, but then they went into Run, and Run, they were like, put your hands up, jump. They wanted you to like get really hyped. Like, this was just like, this is the first song. I mean, Idol was super hyped too, but this one, they were out on the second stage, and they're like, jump.
This is like the first time that they are interacting with the crowd out there, you know?
Yeah. So I was jumping.
Me too.
I was jumping a lot. I didn't have like my phone out at all. I was hitting all the people around me. I felt bad, but whatever. But
let me just tell everyone right now that if you are on GA, there are going to be other pictures on Twitter, on Instagram, or if you are having a friend come, like, ask if they'll take pictures or something, or just switch off taking pictures. Don't be on your phone the whole time. Watch it. Watch it. Experience it. Jump around. Go crazy.
I have no pictures of Singularity.
I only took 3 pictures the entire concert. Like, our friend Anthony took all.
Anthony is a saint.
He's a saint. He took a ton. We have a shared like folder of like over 500 items, like pictures and videos. Saintly, but experience it. Don't take pictures the whole time.
Yeah. So guys, Run, this may have been like the biggest part for Kayla and I. Well, I don't know, especially Kayla.
This is one of 2 biggest, this is something that I will remember for the rest of my life.
Oh, for sure.
So during Run, I bring up the phone thing because everyone around me was on their phones. And where I was, I had a great view. I was a little bit back, but the people in front of me were short, so I feel like from the stage you could see me.
Oh, yeah.
So during Run, Yoongi's like going around the stage. They're all kind of going around the stage. But I'm looking at Yoongi because he's fucking killing me, right?
Yeah.
And I am going crazy. I'm jumping up and down while they're jumping up and down. He's like crouch walking. He's like mid left stage and he's moving to like front middle stage. So in that entire time, he's looking right at me. He sees me going fucking crazy because all the other people in front of me and to the sides of me have their phones out and they're not jumping around. They're not interacting. And I'm going fucking crazy. And he looks at me. He makes this face like, fuck yes, I see you.
And this is the part of the song where he like bends down and he picks up his water bottle. Like they had already had one part of the song where they like threw some water, but he like bent down and like he opens up his water bottle. He takes a sip of his water and I'm up a couple rows and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get hit with this water.
Yes.
Like, I know I'm gonna get hit with this water.
People were like, bless us with your holy water. But so he splashed his water all over everybody, and then he threw his water bottle right at me, and it landed at my feet, and I picked it up, and I have Yoongi's fucking water bottle.
Guys, she literally does. When I got hit with the water, I turn around and I'm like, Kayla, did you feel it? And she's like, bitch, I have his water bottle. I was like, no, you don't.
I fucking have it. Like, I feel like he meant to fucking throw it right at me because he saw me.
Oh,
like,
he for sure did.
This moment happened so quickly. Like, from when he saw me to when he splashed the water to when he threw the water bottle, it was like 20 seconds. Like, it's just so fucking crazy that I kept it. Like, I held it the whole time, or I was wearing jeggings, so like I could put it in my pocket because my pocket was really stretchy. I have it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to keep it forever.
Yeah. And I was like, Kayla, oh my God, his mouth was on it. I like took it from her and I like licked the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, we licked it.
We have to lick it, duh.
Anthony
licked it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's fucking Min Yoongi. So that was like one of the most, I have another really amazing moment, but that was like one of the most amazing moments that happened.
Yeah. So after that, I was like super hyped, and then they disappear and they're like getting changed and all of that, and we get the VCR for Jimin and RM.
I mean, so Serendipity was next, and it was amazing. Like, I was so far away because we hadn't figured out yet that, like, we could move to a different part in GA and still have a great space and move back or whatever. We could move around the whole time if we wanted to. We were still kind of, like, afraid to do that. So I was still back at the second stage, but I could see the choreography from far away, and I was looking at the screens also.
And like right when it started, you knew it was Serendipity because there's these huge yellow floodlights that like light up the whole main stage, and just so many of them too. I mean, just beautiful. And they also had like fog kind of in the air, like fog machines, and so like it looked so dense. And we're like, oh my gosh, Serendipity. And again, we were really far away, so I was looking at the screens, and his shirt came up pretty high when he was performing. And
because there's this part where he kind of like, you know, thrusts his arm into the air, and he's wearing like this loose black shirt with rhinestones on it. So of course it just kind of like flops up, you know?
Yes. This dance, it's like so sexy.
It is really sexy.
Which is so funny because Kayla has always told me that Serendipity is a sexy song. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's a really beautiful song about love and falling in love. And you're like, no, it's sexy. And then we see this choreography. And I'm like, okay.
And he fucking sexy. Grinds on the ground. Like, he Magic Mikes that shit.
He does.
During the bridge. And also, like, you mentioned the yellow lights. And then as the song progresses, it turns blue. And there's, like, a moon in the background. And then, like, during, like, later on, like, bubbles were floating through the air. So it's, like, iridescent bubbles, like, floating through with this beautiful blue starry background. And Jimin's amazing voice and these, like, incredible visuals and choreography. It was just...
Yeah. Yeah. And again, his vocals, phenomenal. I mean, really, all of their vocals live are just, they sound even better than the original track. I mean, really.
Yes. I was scared going to this concert that my expectations wouldn't be met, because I've been to concerts before where I've really idolized a group and I've really been like, okay, but you're just never sold on them really until you see it live, right?
Yeah.
Like you want them to be as good as you think you are. And BTS was everything, exceeded all expectations, like blew them out of the water. Like, yeah, their live vocals truly are so good. And each, if anything, their live vocals, their voice, their vocal uniqueness comes through more.
Oh, yes, definitely. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'll talk more about that for sure during the Truth Untold. Okay. But so after that was Trivia Love. And this song I think might be the one where I lost my voice the most. Because I was like, because of Namjoon. Yes, because of Namjoon. And guys, he performed this on the second stage. So he was right in front of us. And oh my gosh, this was actually the performance that I took the most pictures and footage of. He is so tall and so stunning. I mean, gosh. And he was so energetic and just really feeding off of us. I mean, he was feeding off of us. He kept putting the mic out, trying to, get ARMY to sing along with him. And like, he didn't even need to do that because we were all screaming it anyways. Like, I was so happy with Fort Worth, definitely on Sunday, with how energetic we all were with him, and I could tell that he felt it. He felt it. Yes, I was so happy. And he had this like robe, like the duster on. Yes. Oh, and he looked so good, and he like had his arms out, and he just was like having a blast out there. Yes, he was happy,
and it was just so beautiful to sing that song with him. Anyways, Trivia Love was just truly, like, one for the books. Like, a performance, like, to never forget.
Yeah, he's such a performer. He really is. Yeah. So right after that, it goes into DNA. And it was so amazing because, like, I don't even know where the members came from because they performed DNA on the second stage. I don't know if they were creeping up from behind this whole time because I was just so focused on Namjoon I didn't even notice them.
No, they were.
But all of a sudden, like, I see, like, Taeyong and Jimin and Jin, like, they're all coming out. I was like, oh my God, they're here. And then J-Hope comes up behind June and, like, puts on this jacket. This, like, it was, like, red and blue kind of
and
like
white checkered. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but the fact that J-Hope put it on him, I'm like, king. Anyways. Then and then he says love and he does a little heart, but then they go into DNA.
Oh yeah. Love. So yeah, then they go into DNA. DNA was amazing. They basically just did like the little bit of the beginning choreography and then just vibed with the crowd, which was really awesome. And after DNA, they did like a little medley of Boys with Fun, which is always such a great song. Like this is like still like hype songs, like classic BTS songs. And then Attack on Bangtan, Fire, Bapse, and Dope. So that was that entire time, all I could think about was how hard they were working and how fucking amazing and incredible they are, because I was jumping around, I was screaming, I was dancing that entire time, and I was so tired, and like they were all doing that. Like it was crazy.
It was so hype. And honestly, I really love DNA because they were all just they were in super colorful and like sequin colored jackets and outfits and like just stunning. But Taeyong was so cute during DNA because he was just laughing the whole time. I mean, I don't think he was taking this performance seriously. I think something happened with him and Jin, and they just were like cracking up the whole time.
Jin was hilarious during this concert.
Jin was so funny. His personality came through so much in this concert.
I love him so much. Like okay, first of all, Jin was elusive. It was hard to get pictures of Jin.
Yeah, he really was.
Second of all,
so was Jungkook.
Second of all, anytime that we do have a picture of Jin, we have him either doing like a goofy face, judging someone, or like being fucking beautiful and ethereal and amazing. And it's just like, wow, Jin, I love you. Like,
yeah.
So after that little medley, they did Airplane Part 2. And actually at this point, I was getting really thirsty and I was feeling like I just needed some energy. So I went and got a Powerade and I got you a water.
Yeah, I really needed water. Mm-hmm.
So I kind of missed.
Yeah, like after Bepse, which by the way, we got such good footage of J-Hope. Like we need this to go viral because we got his hip thrust so hard in it.
Oh my God, we have put it on Twitter and Instagram. Like, go find it because more people need to see it because their lives are going to be changed because this clip is iconic.
Hard for Bepse.
Yes.
They went so hard for Bepse. But yes, it's iconic. You guys need to go look at it. But this is when we were like, my sister, she was actually on stage left. She was like, bye, I'm done with this area. She's like, I can't see anything. She wanted to see like the main performances, like the really, like where they're all together and on the main stage. So she went stage left, and then I think Anthony went over or something, and we're like, maybe we should go stage left. And then all of a sudden we could see so much more. And they performed Airplane Part 2 up on the main stage. And so Kayla went and got water after that. And that's when they started doing the VCR for Singularity. And guys, that VCR was like amazing. And I really want to find it and keep rewatching it because that was the moment that I'm like, Taeyong, I already knew he was beautiful and like the most stunning, handsome man ever. But like watching these videos of him, I'm like, wow, okay, I totally understand why he was voted most handsome face of, is it most handsome face or beautiful face of 2017?
Handsome?
I don't know. Yeah. But I was like, oh my gosh, I was not ready for Singularity. But then you made it back just in time.
Yeah, I caught the ending part of Taeyong's VCR, and I just want to say I don't know anything about this because I didn't actually get to see the VCR, but people on Twitter are saying that they think that the VCR is like a hint to the next era, specifically this one of Taeyong's. So maybe that's something we'll have to talk about at a later date, or just keep in mind for what comes next.
Yeah. So Singularity, guys.
Dude.
I cried, duh.
Of course you cried. He rose up out of the stage, like, and
with a coat hanger,
with the coat hanger, and his, like the jacket with his arm in it, like he does the whole choreography from the video, but just put together. And I think what awed me the most, weirdly, was the way that they incorporated the masks and how they did that, because they just had people with like black hoods up and like black face coverings, where you could tell.
Yeah, but they were dancing too.
Yeah, they were dancing too, and they were holding the white masks. And I just thought, I was like, that's a really cool way to do it, like on the stage, It was, they just pulled it off really well.
And like when he takes the mask and he puts it over his face, everyone flipped out. He like throws the mask behind him, and then he goes into the most intense part of the choreography. And guys, seeing him do that footwork is what made me cry. I mean, like, talk about how he's been accepted into the dance line officially. Like, I know people are real bitter about it, but I don't care. When you see him perform this, like, he's so fluid. I swear.
Yes,
so fluid.
yes.
Like, it is so beautiful. And it's probably because he was wearing, like, this robe, and it just, like, the way it sways with his body, it's like, oh, my gosh.
It's really beautiful. And
his vocals, too. My God.
yes, I was just going to say that. While he's doing this footwork, his vocals are still perfect and sound better than the studio. Like, it's
really steady vocals. And strong, steady vocals.
And, like, you don't ever underestimate Taeyoung's deep voice. Like, the undertones that you get, they're just so beautiful.
Yeah. And then they go straight into Fake Love after that, which is just so perfect, really, because it's like getting that tear vibe now.
So we're like, you know, I came up to the front also during like Airplane Part 2, like when I came back from the concession stand. So I was close for Singularity and Fake Love. So in Fake Love, like actually seeing Jungkook's abs with my own eyes, not looking at them through the screen. Holy shit.
Wowza.
It was, I mean, it was like, I know that's like so objectifying, but at the same time, it's like, I just had to see it.
They put it in there for us.
Yeah.
They put it in there for us.
I mean, yeah, they wouldn't put it there if they didn't want us to look at it.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. That was great for me.
Yeah. And that performance was really great. And honestly, they have that performance down. I remember seeing them perform it for, I think they performed at Billboard, when they first like performed it live. And this looked like it was nothing to them. At least they make it look like it's nothing. Like they're just they've got it down so well. So when I saw it, I'm like, man, they just like know this like the back of their hand now. And it just was perfect. It was performed perfectly.
Oh, man. The next thing. There was a VCR for Suga and Jin. So, of course, we know that we're getting Trivia Seesaw and Epiphany. And Trivia Seesaw was truly one of my favorite performances because it was just like Yoongi was just hanging out with us. Like, I don't know what it was. When he started, the way that it starts, this is like iconic to me. Like, this is the memorable part of the performance was he starts out by raising up out of the stage, and he's on a platform that raises a little bit higher, and it has like stairs on it, and he's on a couch, like a white couch, and he starts off the song by he's like laying on his back on the couch singing, and it's just like he's so chill and comfortable, and it's comfortable with himself and with his performance and with the fans, and also like an extension of the meaning of the lyrics. And I just love that this is the choreography. Yeah.
My sister, her feet were hurting so bad. She's like, that couch looks real good right now. And like the people in front of her were like, yeah.
We stood like for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, people had to have been standing way longer than us.
Yeah, for
sure. I can't imagine. But he comes off, like, he's on this platform too, kind of, but he, like, walks down from it. Like, he gets off the couch and he walks down, and he comes out to us, and then these backup dancers come, and then he does this just
the seesaw dance.
Perfect choreography. Like, it's so subtle and simple. Well, it looks subtle and simple, but I'm sure it's difficult.
It's perfect.
I mean, it's just suits the song so well.
It's not too intense for what the song is, because the song is really a chill song. And
the song is mellow as shit. I love it. It's so fun to sing along to.
When he comes further out onto the stage, there's actually a point where he's standing up on this little platform, and his backup dancers lift something up, and it turns out to be a table, and he like slides down the table and hops off the end of it, and he kind of does a little dance right there, and then he like climbs back up on the table, and like they put it down. It was just, that was another really cool moment.
Oh, that was so cool.
Anyways, that was just an incredible performance.
Yeah, and I was super happy because everyone in the arena was just so energetic for every single song. We talked about this in our Uber. We were like, man, every single song, the concert went so quickly because every single song you were excited for. There wasn't a single song that you were like, okay, yeah, like this is fine. Like every single one, everyone was so stoked to hear it.
Yeah, there's no song that you want to miss. Like I missed like half of Airplane. I hated it, but I was like, we need water. But like the entire time, every single moment was exciting and like worth it. Like incredible. And Seesaw
Yeah.
was definitely one of those biggest ones.
So then it went into Epiphany, which I'm so happy that Kayla and I were next to each other now. And guys, we were not there was a lot of wiggle room in the GA section, unless you were up by the barricade. But we were back at this point because we're there's no point in being up front because it's the main stage.
Yeah.
So you can't get that close to it. And so we were in the back, clinging on to each other like Epiphany, we're not ready. And Jen shows up on the far left of the stage, and there's just this spotlight that shines down on him, and he's playing the piano. And we're
God.
No. He learned the piano, and he's playing it live for us. Oh my God. Okay.
He's playing the piano and singing simultaneously, just and this is
with so much passion.
And
he's sitting there. Ugh.
It was the best way to start it. And after the first verse, he gets up and he starts walking over to the stage. And what I think, to me, the turning point in this song and the most amazing moment and iconic moment is when he's not singing. It's that kind of interlude part where in the video he's outside in the rain. And at this point, all the screens are black with white rain falling down on them. And there's two screens on each side of the stage, but then there's also screens on the stage, and they open up to reveal stairs, and then he turns around and faces that way. So his back is to the entire convention center, and the screens go white, and the rain starts going backwards and going up as he's climbing the stairs. And then he sings his last part. And after this long interlude, it is just so beautiful and moving.
It's moving. And just kind of how in when he did Awake, how he was just so, belting it, in Awake. With this, he bends over because he holds these really strong notes for so long, and he just, his voice just carries throughout the whole arena. And I was struck by his vocals.
Yes.
I knew I would be, but man, it was just so much power behind it and so much vibrato.
Yeah. I think we were ready for the power, but we weren't ready for how beautiful his live vibrato is. When he
vibrato,
really gets to hold notes and live in the moment, you could kind of tell during his song, he got to decide how long he was going to hold a note or how long he was going to take between moments, and it was, he really got to show his voice, and it was stunning. It was perfect.
It really was.
So next, they performed The Truth Untold. So at the end of Jen's song, the rest of the vocal line came out. And you're oh my God. We knew what was going to happen. We were
because they stood in a line all next to each other. We're yep, it's happening.
We were The Truth Untold right now. And
we're already emotional from Epiphany.
And let me tell you, I teared up during Serendipity. Okay, I had a single tear. I definitely teared up during Magic Shop, right? During the "So show me, I'll show you" call and response part. That was really powerful to me. But The Truth Untold is the first time that I had tears just flowing down, streaming. Yeah. By the end of the song, just because of their vocals. Their visuals were so stunning because, of course, they're beautiful human beings, so they're standing there and they have great lighting. It was beautiful. And also, they got risen up on the platform during this, so that was amazing.
So they were up in the air, and of course, they all take turns singing their part.
Yes.
And Jungkook's voice was breathtaking. Everyone, I think, was shocked when he did these runs, and he was bent over just doing these beautiful runs. And you and I both were holy shit. And he was doing it, I think, while Jen and Jimin were singing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, he was supposed to be just like adding just like a little extra flair to the song, but man, he was stealing the show there for a bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, all of them did such a fantastic job. Jimin's voice is so unique. So unique.
It's like really whatever when he records and they, you know, add it to the song and mix it and whatever they do does not even like do what his voice is justice. Like
I think they edit his voice a little too much because I mean his true vocals live are just stunning and amazing. Oh my gosh, I've said stunning and amazing and beautiful like 20 gazillion times, but whatever.
Well, it's just that we've never heard anything like it. Like it's a unique sound. It's like he's like a siren.
And Jin's vibrato, I mean, it was all great. And Taeyong,
his two lines.
Also, his 2 lines, I mean, I was bawling, guys. I was pretty heavily crying. And I looked over at Kayla, and, like, you were crying, too. And we were, like, so great. And I'm like, Taeyong needs more lines. Like, he only sang, like, 2 lines. But it was really sad.
Oh, man. But overall, that whole performance was so beautiful. And, yeah, we were
and Anthony cried,
crying.
which was crazy. Because Anthony, that was the only time he cried. And he's not super invested in the group. Like, he loves BTS, but not like we do.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's like, yeah, that was emotional. And so we're like holding on to each other.
Clutching each other.
Yes, clutching onto each other's
Wiping
arms.
the tears from under our eyes. We're both like, we need a moment. Like, I really felt like I could cry for a few minutes, right? And then all of the sudden.
Like, they don't even give you like 5 seconds before the army bombs all turn green.
They all turn green, and all of a sudden, outro tier starts fucking playing, and we're like, no,
this is not fair. This is not fair.
I need a minute to recover. We were like, holy shit, we got to get our shit together because we got to go crazy for outro tier. Like,
and they came up on the front stage, and we were like on the second stage, and we were up at the main stage. We're like, no, we like booked it back to the second stage. Like we gotta be right next to them. That was so hype. The rap line. Oh.
And then when J-Hope ends it, it is just
it kills you. I mean, it's just like such a. It's also an emotional song, but it's like nasty and like angry. And I mean, everyone was just like throwing their hands in the air, like, yeah.
Yoongi's part.
Oh, yeah.
Yoongi's part with the hearing like the auto-tune. Oh, shit. It was so good. Namjoon, powerful as fuck as usual.
Oh, my gosh.
All 3 of them were really possessing the stage, constantly moving around. No matter where you were around the second stage, you got to look at them. They were close to you. It was really cool.
Yeah. The 3 that, like, out of all the members, the rap line to me, I think, was engaged with the audience, especially like the GA section. They were so engaged with us. They had such good charisma on the stage. I mean, I felt like I made eye contact with all of them, for sure. For sure Yoongi, for sure Namjoon. But like, they were like crouching down.
It seems like the rap line was making more interactions with like the GA, and although the vocal line did do some, it seemed like the vocal line were more concerned about like the general audience. Like I caught them looking out more. Like sometimes they would kind of scan the GA area, but not as much, or not like specific eye contact. But as far as looking out into the crowd and trying to like look at people, I felt like they were doing that. I especially saw Taeyong doing that. Like,
yeah, Taeyong really was just like looking everywhere he could, but his eyes never lied in one place for too long.
No.
Which was heartbreaking to me because I was like, I tried standing back. I was like trying really hard. I'm like, I swear to God, he has to have seen me by this point. Like I'm like,
you were dressed like him.
I was dressed like him. I was like in his line of sight several times, but his eyes would just kind of glaze over me, and I'm like, no, like I just wanted him to look at me, but it's okay. Same
thing with me and Jimin. Like I don't think I ever like caught his eye at all, no matter where I was at. And that's fine because I had other experiences that were absolutely incredible. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. But I was hoping to, of course.
Yeah, like a little part of your heart was like, oh, sad. But also this concert's amazing and they're all right in front of me. So I don't even care. But yeah, I was like, Taeyong, you have to see me. Okay.
So they ended the concert with Mic Drop Remix, which was fucking incredible. And I loved rapping with them, like doing the Korean rap with them in person. And and they did the third dance break, like the body roll dance break.
Oh my God.
And we were so fucking close to this. And since we were on stage left on the second stage, we saw a different angle than we've ever seen before.
Yeah, like
it wasn't from the
Jungkook
front.
was like facing towards us.
Oh,
When he's in the center, he's turned so his body's open to his right. So we were
and
stage
J-Hope
left,
is right
like,
there.
yeah.
And you can see Yoongi right there on the side.
And you can see Taeyong right behind Jungkook. I was like, yes, this is a perfect angle for me.
God damn it. It was so, ooh. And so, like, of course, they ended with that song, and they were kind of all in, like, V formation, and Yoongi was standing, like, a little bit, like, in front of everyone, and he just waited a minute and just dropped the fucking mic.
Yeah.
Dude. Amazing. Like, and we know this isn't the last thing. We know that this isn't the last thing, but, like, if that were, like, that's a pretty fucking good way to end it.
Yeah, really.
So then they, like, walked off stage.
Yeah, so then it was the encore.
They had us wait for a little bit. Like, they, of course, were, like, changing, freshening up a little bit for the encore so they could really give us, like, a last, like, final show, like a goodbye, right? So we were, like, chanting their names at one point, shouting BTS at one point. It actually was, like, pretty cool. Like, the energy kept building in, like, waiting for this encore.
Well, there were moments where it would get a little quiet. I'm like, no, I was like, we got to keep screaming. Like, if we want an encore, like, we got to work through this shit. Like, anytime it got kind of quiet, I was like, how do I start a fan chant? Like, how do I get this going?
Let's chant dang.
Yeah, we started chanting dang a little bit, and the people in front of us were like, yes, dang.
Bethany, at one point, you started screaming, and then shortly, like literally a half a second later, the rest of the crowd started screaming, so I felt like you started that one.
Oh, okay? Yeah, sure. I'll take credit for it.
So when they came out for the encore, this was the encore. They did So What? Then they did Am Pam Man. Then they did their final, like, talking to us. And then they did their last song, which is Answer Love Myself.
Which we got all these banners to hold up there at the end for Army Time.
Yes.
What did they say? So I Love Me, or like something like that?
Yeah, I think it's a line from Epiphany, but I don't know what the Korean part says for sure. So, we'll post pictures on our Instagram of, like, Yoongi's bottle and of these, like, signs that they had us hold up during Army Time. But the Army Time was really, really cool. But that was Answer Love Myself. Like, right before that, they put Army Time up on the screen, so everybody put that up. And, of course, we knew the whole time it was going to happen. And, of course, BTS knows it's going to happen because it happens in every concert. But it was still,
and they changed into, like, these super casual outfits, like jeans with white shirts tucked into them. Oh yes, and like their arms look so good in these, like, shirts. I don't know what it was. Like, Yoongi's arms, I could see his veins. Damn, boy. He kind of just stands with his arms crossed a little bit. So I was like, ooh, your arms look so good.
Yes.
They all looked just so hot to me. I just could not get over how amazing they look in person. Like, even hotter than any picture or video I've ever seen.
I feel like during this encore, because they, like, got this time to refresh, they looked so amazing and they were so hype. And during these four things, we were going crazy. Like, I have never sang So What so loud or jumped so much during So What or been like so free and crazy.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, Taekook moments. I'm just saying, there was Jikook moments too, but Taekook moments. Like, Ampam Man, like, they switched spots.
Yeah.
Taekook did.
At the beginning.
Yeah. So Taeyoung was like, he was like flapping Jungkook's jacket, and it was so cute, and he was like having so much fun doing it. And Jungkook, like, he just was like, yes, this is great. And
but the Taekook moment during So What, where they do the Jungkook is like, he gets Taeyoung, he's like, hey, do this with me, and they do that thing where they like turn to the side and like touch fingers in the shape of a circle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
and then they do the shooting dance. I think it's from
like a cartoon or an anime or something. I don't know what it's from.
I don't know.
It's something like that.
But they do it together. Like there's older pictures of them doing it too, and so they're really cute. Jungkook is like beaming. Taeyoung smiles too, and they do their shoot
Jungkook
dance.
like tapped him, like, do this with me, and Taeyoung's like, okay, and then they do the shoot dance all the way down, the, like, runway, and they're just so cute, And of course, like, going back to Man, that was amazing. Like seeing, especially J-Hope's part during Man, just. Seeing everybody else like do the like superhero pose, I loved it. Yeah,
and that's one of those that you can like rap along with and sing along with the entire song.
And like the camera where they get really close to the camera like was up at the front middle stage, so we were right like next to that, so they would like come up and they would crouch down and get in front of the screen, like so their faces could be like real close, and it was just so cute and so much fun and so much energy there at the end, and they were just up front on this like second stage and just so interactive with everyone. I mean, everyone in the arena.
So after Man was their final, like their goodbye, where they were talking to us. And
wait, Kayla, when did they lift Jimin's shirt? They showed Jimin's abs. I know Jungkook lifted it. I'm pretty sure that was either during So What or like Man, like
during the end somewhere in there it was, and Jimin kind of put his hand over it, and even though you think that he has really baby hands, somehow his hands covered his entire stomach, so you could only get like little glimpses of like his abs and V-line. So that was incredible.
Yeah.
So when they talked to us at the end, it was really sweet. You know, like they were like, thank you for giving us so much energy tonight. We love you. Like, I don't know.
They said they'd be back. They said they'd be back. They were like, we loved Fort Worth. And they just kept saying Texas, which is so cute. And they said that it was really memorable and that they'll never forget it. And Taeyoung said, like, I know I'm going to sleep good tonight, and that he wishes that we all dream of him, which I did. And
I think they were in all of our dreams last night.
Yeah. I mean, it was just such a great concert. But yeah, it was so sweet just hearing them all talk. And Yoongi and Jin, they even said something extra. Like, they didn't know how to say some of this stuff in English, so they just said it in Korean, and then there was a translator, which was really neat, so they could say what they wanted to say.
Yes, I really liked that.
Which I loved. Jin apparently he tried to go to an amusement park, but it was closed or something.
Yeah, and he was like, it was closed, and he said that the concert last night and tonight made up for it.
Yeah.
It was really sweet, and it was just really wonderful. Namjoon said, he was like, you guys are going to hate me for this, but I have to say it. We're in Fort Worth, and you're my first worth. And that was really cute. It was like, wow, what bet did he lose to Jin that he had to say this pun?
Yeah, like, really.
I can't wait. Also, they were filming in Burn the Stage because they had signs. I'm just assuming it was Burn the Stage, but they had signs saying that there was like filming and cameras in progress.
We're convinced that there's a season 2.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I mean,
also there was a Minjun moment too, like Jimin
oh my god,
just soaking
patting
up all
him
of
with
June's
a towel
sweat.
For like, I mean, and June just let him do it for a solid like a minute, and finally he was like, "Thank you, like okay, you can stop now." But it was so cute. Like Jimin was just like beaming, just like, "I'm gonna pat the sweat off you." Adorable. Thanks for the fan service.
There was a lot of other ship moments too, like lots of G-Cook. There was even V-Hope and stuff. But I mean, we just like obviously pick up on our ships.
Dude, yeah. I mean, there was so much. And honestly, like, you couldn't absorb
so much
it all.
interaction between all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can tell they are literally brothers. I mean, they are family. And when they're out there, they are just having a blast. And guys, from the beginning of the concert, like with Idol, I was like, oh man, they look uneasy or nervous. And then by the end, they are just so comfortable with us. And it's like you know them almost.
Yeah. And after they talk to us for the last time, they go into Answer Love Myself, which of course is when they put Army Time on the screens and we put up our signs, and we know that this is going to be an emotional song, right?
Yeah,
but it's also supposed to be like a celebration song. Like, I think at some point during the concert, Namjoon says like, "Thank you for being here at this celebration with us," and so it was really it is a happy song. Like, it is like a joyful song, but I could not stop crying the entire time. I was absolutely bawling, and I was trying to scream for them, like, just to like yell, to, I don't know, be excited for them, but it kept getting stuck in my throat because I was crying, and I was really like, I was happy because it was an amazing concert. I like couldn't believe that it was over. I was being really moved by the song and the performance and the lyrics, and just seeing them do it live and seeing them interact with everybody during it, and just knowing that this is the last time that I'm going to see them for a while. Like, it was so powerful. So
it was really powerful. And Kayla was a little bit closer to the stage. I was standing back because I was just soaking it in, and man, tears were like just flowing down my face like endlessly. I could not stop. I was actually sobbing. And I mean, I had like my army bomb and like my sign, and like I was just like you, trying to sing along, trying to be happy, but I just couldn't stop crying because I'm like, this went too fast. This went way too fast.
And it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. Like,
I know. And it felt like it was a half hour.
It was.
I mean, every single song was just so incredible that it's just like when it went to the next one, it just went so quick. It just went so quick. And when they started saying goodbye, like when they started like saying thank you, like we love you, I was like screaming like I love you, and like I'm like bye. Like I just kept waving bye to them, and I was like I'm gonna cry right now. Like, guys, I sobbed all the way out. Like when we were leaving the building, I was still sobbing. I could not stop. I was like, me too. I don't want them to go. I don't know when I'm gonna see them again. Like, I can't believe that just happened. I was just like so sad, but also like happy. But it was just like, I don't know if I will ever get the chance to see them again, and I had to say goodbye to them. Like, I just met you.
So during that song, I had like my other really amazing moment that I like. I'll never forget this either. So I was sobbing, right? And I was a little bit closer to the stage than you. I had a really great view at that point because a few people had like moved out of the way. I don't know where they went, but it was like, okay, I'm going to move up because it's the end. And I hadn't really gotten.
I think people were just like soaking it in.
Yeah.
Just standing back.
I hadn't really gotten like super, super close yet. So I got close. There was maybe 3 rows of people in front of me, and I had a great view, but I was sobbing, right? I had my hands up. I was trying to sing along. I was whatever, but I was just sobbing. And Namjoon comes around the stage and he sees me sobbing. He looks right at me and he thrusts his hand straight out, like down at my ankle with the I love you sign, making the I love you sign with his hand right at me, and makes sustained eye contact with me. And I did it back to him. I just like put my hand out and did it back, and I was like crying, and like we were just like that for a few seconds, and he like moved on. But it was like such a moment and such an amazing thing.
And like I saw him do that, and I was like right behind you, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just like started blowing kisses at him.
It was so crazy. It was so crazy.
But yeah, it was just like it was so emotional. another part of the concert that I totally forgot to mention, it was another Taekook thing. I just have to mention it. But, like, I saw someone had thrown up, like, a little Tata plushie, and Jungkook picked it up. And, like, I was on stage left, so I could see, like, the back of Taeyoung. But I could see Jungkook go up and, like, he pinned the Tata plushie to, like, his back pocket, like, right on his butt. And I was like, like, he's touching his butt.
Cute.
I know. It was just like, and Taeyoung then came over, and like, this is probably the closest I ever got to like making eye contact with him. Is like, he came over right in front of me, and then he like turned around, and then he like wiggled his little Tata plushie at us. I was like, oh, so cute.
I love that. And he had the little stuffed tiger too, which was cute also.
Someone like a couple rows in front of us and to like the left threw that tiger plushie, and like he at first like looked offended that someone hit him with it, but then he was like, oh no, never mind, and then he like put it in his shirt, and then he had it with him. It was really cute.
And people were like throwing up like cookie like headbands and stuff, and
a bunch of BT21 stuff.
Ton of it. It was just really sweet, and the ending was amazing. Like, they could not have ended better. And walking out, yes, we were still sobbing. We were like, we gotta just get our shit together. We took a picture.
Gotta get our shit together.
We took a picture as we were walking out. I was like, let me take a pic. Like, post concert, still crying, and we posted that on our social media also. And man, it was just every single moment of waiting, every single like part of my body that is sunburnt, like waiting, was worth it. My feet hurting, like
I've got blisters all over my feet.
Like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, my calves hurt from jumping so much, and I mean, just sore and tired and exhausted. I'm so tired.
I know.
Work tomorrow.
Me too.
But it was worth every speck of pain. Yeah. I mean, really, for sure.
Everything. I mean, it. Like I said earlier, it exceeded all of our expectations.
Always.
And like, I think we didn't even know to expect that it was going to be that incredible. Like, truly, every single song was a song you wanted to hear, which was amazing. They performed every single song incredibly. Their vocals were amazing. Rap line was amazing. Visuals were stunning. Like, stage effects were incredible. We took streamers with us. Like, the lighting was awesome.
Still a bunch of confetti. Yeah.
I mean,
I will say the biggest thing is, like, I will truthfully say their personalities, they come through so much during the concert.
Yes.
And it's just like it felt personal. It felt so personal. And they just interacted with every single person in that arena. And it just, again, it could not have been any more perfect. Everything about it.
Yeah, they made all of us
experience.
feel. It was the best. They made all of us feel seen and noticed and acknowledged. You know,
yes,
like,
they acknowledge you.
I think when you go to a concert, especially with the relationship that we have as fans that they have with us, our relationship, we want them to know, you know, how much we love them and care about them and support them. So being able to go to this interactive concert experience and like scream for them and cheer for them and like sing along with them and go crazy for them was incredible, because it's like how we know they know, you know.
Yeah. J-Hope was such a flirt. I mean, he was just so flirty with everyone. I mean, he was winking at us and
beaming a huge
down.
smile.
Oh yeah,
taking his jacket off to reveal just a tank top shirt underneath.
Tank top. What the fuck was that? I was
thrusting right. Okay, truthfully, when he thrusted during Bapsai, I was right front and center, and I could have peed myself. Like, I had to watch myself. I was like, holy shit, what was that? Like, and I was expecting
just slightly left of it, but I mean, like, Anthony was right next to me and he got that footage on it. I mean, I was just so close. I felt like his dick was like literally
right
in
there.
front of my face.
It was crazy. It was like, And we had seen that video from the side, the floppy dick video.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Literally, we saw that the day before.
And we were like, holy shit. So we knew.
I just could not believe we got that. I could not believe Anthony got that on camera. I was like, holy crap.
Well, the reason why the video that Anthony got is so perfect is because first, it's focused on Taeyong feeling himself singing. Then Jimin feeling himself singing. And then all of a sudden, J-Hope fucking jumps in out of nowhere.
I know. It's the best video because he zoomed in just a little bit, just to really zoom in on Taeyong because I think he was probably trying to get him for me. And then went over to Jimin. And then you see this black pants and suit come forward and you're like, what is that? I mean, Anthony I think just had no decision but to follow him.
Yeah.
So he moved his camera with him and then zoomed out because it was too zoomed in. So he zoomed out and I mean how he had it was exactly how close we were. And it was just I cannot believe he got that on camera.
It was crazy. Just a blur of black and white clothing and energy bouncing to the front and then going fucking crazy and hardcore hip thrusting. It was, that was iconic.
Yes.
Oh, man, I feel truthfully, we feel we have talked about this concert a lot. Also, we didn't even mention
stop talking about it.
Fucking Matthew McConaughey was there. In the seats. What the fuck? I keep saying that the Venn diagram for BTS fans and Matthew McConaughey fans I feel has a very small overlap, but Matthew McConaughey was there and he was seen walking around with a signed Love Myself or Love Yourself Answer album. And
his shirt said, all right.
That's so fucking random.
I don't think anyone even noticed him. I mean, I think people did, obviously.
People did, but they were more
no one even bothered with him, I think.
And they were that's Matthew fucking McConaughey.
taking footage of the whole arena. He looked just like any other army there. He's just chilling with his sunglasses on, enjoying BTS.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, anyways, it was a fucking incredible concert. It was just everything. Unforgettable. Probably the best concert I'll ever go to in my life, unless I get to go to another BTS concert, which if they tour again, I'm going.
Oh, well, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they said that they're coming back to Fort Worth, so I'm going to hold them to that. I just feel like they had so much confidence when they said that. So I was like, okay.
I'll go anywhere
they go.
Yeah, for real. Come to the Midwest and not the North Midwest like Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
The South. Texas.
Or we're technically the South Midwest.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our concert review, our mess of a concert review. We didn't organize anything really. We just looked at the set list and talked about the blur whirlwind of a concert that we remember. And
Kayla has Yoongi's freaking water bottle, guys.
Fucking water bottle.
I'm jealous. But I got some of that holy water and I got to lick the bottle. So. I guess I'm content.
Yeah. Jordan went fucking crazy because that's his bias.
Sure.
He was like, oh my God, baby, that's so crazy. He was playing 2K with his friends and I had sent him a text message after it happened during a VCR and he told them and they were like, whoa, that's crazy. But
Corey's like, you're gross. He's like, of course you licked the bottle.
Of course, of fucking course we did. Are you kidding?
Anyways, guys, so throughout the week and over the next couple weeks, we will post a lot of these pictures because Anthony took 400 pictures. We're like, we owe you money. We really do.
Really.
He took amazing pictures with his awesome phone. Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, be looking forward to that if you want to see a bunch of stuff that we're going to put up. We have some amazing pictures that are just beautiful, some really funny pictures, and everything in between. So, look for that coming up. And if you liked this episode or any of our other episodes, we would super love and appreciate if you would rate and review on iTunes, or you could become a Or you can become a patron on our Patreon and part of like, you could be like a general in the BTS army or something and donate to us so that way someday maybe we can get someone to edit this podcast. And anyways, you can find links for that in the description as well as all of our social media, where to email us, where to tweet us, where to find all of those pictures and videos that we're going to be posting here within the next few weeks. Anyways, links for all of that are in the description.
In the description. Thanks for listening and thanks for standing BTS.